Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, nice to meet you
Hello.
guys. Hi,
Yeah.
Sylvia. How you doing? I guess we are going to wait a few minutes before starting, guys. Right now, there's just 7 of us in total. Just letting you know that this meeting is being recorded so it can be shared with your colleagues who are not available to participate in the meeting today. So we're still waiting a few more minutes to see if anyone else joined. It looks like there is 9 of us right now. I see Christina, Irina, Saskia. You guys I know. Then I see Sarah K. Hello, Sarah. Nice to meet you.
Hello, nice to meet you too. I'm from Local Factory.
Okay, Local Factory. Oh yeah, you're Sarah Kemlich, right? That's like,
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Stefko, nice to meet you. Stefko or Stefcho. I don't know how to pronounce
Hello.
it. Hey.
Stefcho, it's a Macedonian pronouncing. So
okay, Stefcho.
Hello, everybody.
Nice to meet you. Then I see Musicone, guessing Italian guy. Vanya and unnamed user. I would like, before starting today, to at least have one representative for each country. It looks like we have someone from Macedonia, someone from Italy, someone from Cyprus, and maybe only France is missing. Silvia just joined or is joining. Hello, Silvia.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Fine, thanks.
I was
Hello
waiting
to
a few
everyone.
minutes to see if someone else joins in, but again, guys, no worries. This meeting is being recorded. So if any of your colleagues could not attend the meeting today, we are going to share the recording. The main focus of this meeting is going to be kicking off the CinemaLabs. Most of you hopefully have already heard about them and are in the process of organizing them. I just created a document that I'm going to share with you. Right now it's a draft, so that if there is any information that I missed and that we are going to come across today, I'm going to implement those information. Right now it's just a draft, but basically I'm trying to give you an idea of how you can organize the CinemaLabs. And I say idea and like strongly highlight idea, because we don't want, as the whole committee of the closed project, we don't want to impose anything on anyone. We trust the ambassadors, we trust the teachers, we trust that you know your classes, so you can take these guidelines and adapt them to your teaching style, to your skill set, or to anything that is particular to your school. So without further ado, we could start already, and then if someone joins later, we'll just advise them to take a look at the recording. So first of all, most of you have already heard about the project, have been in Florence, or know about the project to a certain degree. Just very brief introduction. CLOSE project is a European-funded Erasmus Plus project, and we are basically aiming to teach emotional intelligence and skills that are referred to as soft skills through the art of cinema, both passively watching cinema and analyzing the movies. So phase one, analytical, and making cinema, like creating films and learning the art of filmmaking. You probably already heard about the amazing job the Laboratorio Immagine Donna, one of our partners, made at creating the Kino Kit, which is basically this very detailed manual about filmmaking for students, made specifically for this project, with the focus of teaching people in the target group, so middle school, primary school. Some of you I know are going to work with high school students as well. So Yeah, basically that's the general guide that you should always refer to. So this document that I created is like super summarized, just a few pages, just a slideshow for you to get an idea of what to do and then go in the KinoKit and actually kind of learn in depth how you can organize your lectures. Okay, so who's the audience of this document, the guidelines? Close project partners, so people like me, Sylvia, so people who are directly involved in the partnership for the project. Ambassadors, so all of you that are going to work on the project from a school that is not directly involved in the project itself, and the teachers that are going to be basically holding the CinemaLabs from your schools. Okay, so this document can be shared with all of these categories. I wouldn't share it with students just because it wouldn't be comprehensible for them. What are the objectives of these guidelines? So the most important part is going to be going through a session of questions and answers, so that if you guys have any doubts whatsoever on how to organize the CinemaLabs, we can take a look at them together. So basically, we are dividing the whole project into these two phases, which in the KinoKit are called films seen up close. This is a mistake on my hand, and film made up close. Let me fix it right away. Meaning the first phase is going to consist of analyzing movies that are recommended in the KinoKit. Here in the document, I created a link to the KinoKit, again, for some of you who need to download. You can find it at the website closeerasmus.eu. This is, you can find this website in all the languages of the different partners. So let's say I want to go in outputs, and here KinoKit, you will always find the most recent version of this, and you can download it. It's a PDF, so you can use it on any device, or you can print it. 27 pages, as you can see, and basically it kind of this will be your Bible, let's say, to help you understanding how you can go about. So the first phase is a phase that you should complete before starting the CinemaLabs, or at least start it before the CinemaLabs, because what I am imagining is most of the schools are not going to have like plenty of time to dedicate to the project. So probably there's going to be, I don't know, 1 weekly meeting with the students, or 2 weekly, or 1 bi-weekly meeting. So you're going to meet the students every week or every other week, and only for some months. So it's probably not going to be something that like you have 20 classes or 30 classes with the students. If you do at your school, then that's great. I'm assuming that I'm talking to like mostly to teachers, but I know that that's not the case. So the first phase is the one in which students and teachers go watch movies and use the KinoKit cards to analyze the movie on many different levels. You will find on the last part of the KinoKit is 10 cards for 10 of the recommended movies, but you can follow the guidelines to create your own cards. And so basically here you have the movies that are buongiorno.
Buongiorno, eccoci qua.
Come state?
Perderci da un laboratorio nell'Appennino bolognese, albergato.
Where is it coming from?
Non so, penso sia bello anche, cioè non mi capita mai di andarci.
Some of you guys,
It's Irina.
Ci sono le montagne
Okay.
sullo sfondo.
let me. Okay. So as I was saying, there are 10 movies that are recommended, and for these 10 movies, you will have specific cards that are explaining what to look for, how to analyze the movie, what to talk about when you watch that movie with the students. You don't have to watch all of the 10 movies. That is not compulsory. Nothing in the guidelines that I'm showing you is compulsory except for the output. Okay, everything else is basically up for discussion. You can decide to just watch 1, 3, 5, or all 10 of them. Some of these are short movies, some of these are like full-length movies, some of these are documentaries, and so on and so forth. So that should be the first phase and should happen, as you can see here, prior to the beginning of the second phase, which is the CinemaLabs or the CinemaLabs. Okay. Once you go through the phase 1, then you are going to have to start phase 2, the CinemaLabs. And basically what I did is I created an ideal, in my opinion, lecture breakdown so that you know what to talk about every single class that you have with the students. And I decided to divide this into 10 lessons. Of course, if you have more time, every single lesson can be split into 2 parts, or you can have like review lessons and make it longer. Or if you choose to go for a different medium, so like if you, for example, decide to go for stop motion animated movies, so with the students you create a stop motion animated movies, not a real movie, then some of those parts like casting or shooting with the camera, live action, those can be basically checked off. Before going into the breakdown of the 10 classes that I was imagining, I basically divide in 4 macro areas: pre-production, production, post-production, exporting, and reporting. Okay, so the first one is the moment in which with the students you are going to come up with the stories, you are going to write a screenplay, or the students are going to write a screenplay, you're going to come up with a storyboard. All of this is highlighted in the lesson breakdown. Phase, let's say the second area, production, is the one in which the movie actually gets made. So recording, learning like if there is any dialogue, learning by heart, acting, deciding where to put the lighting, and so basically how to light the movie. So everything that is like practical. Okay, we can say that pre-production is still kind of an in-between between theoretical and practical, and pre-production is better explained in the KinoKit. Also, I'm going to share with you a couple of links of YouTube channels that basically give you, if you prefer to teach students through video, they give you a better understanding of all of these phases. And then post-production, some movies are going to have some post-productions, like adding sound, adding effects, adding some color correction. If the teachers have this kind of skill set, other movies are not going to have any post-production because maybe the movie doesn't have any audio and or doesn't have any effects, any editing and stuff like that. Exporting and reporting, this is an area that we are going to talk about in the coming months. Today is the first meeting of a series of meetings that are going to happen every, let's say, 3 months on average, 2-3 months, where basically you guys can report on the progress that you are going through. You can share the material that you are creating if you want some extra feedback. And basically you can let us know how everything is proceeding. What is the aim of the CinemaLabs? Basically, we are foreseeing, we don't know exactly, like for sure, how many schools are participating in the project yet. What we are foreseeing is this, to have 2 or 3 schools from Cyprus, between 4 to 8 schools from Italy, between 1 and 2 schools from France, a couple of schools from North Macedonia. So in total, we are foreseeing 9 to 16 schools participating in the project. Each school could have 1 single group of people, depending on the scale of the school. one group, I think ideally we're talking about 10, 12 students, or if the school is very big or if the classes are very large, you can have more than one group, okay? Every single group is going to have to produce at least 2 projects, 2 movies, 2 short films. As you can see later on in this document, there is no limit, no time limit on the kind of movie. Like, it doesn't have to be at least 5 minutes. It could be 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on like your capacity, okay? And also there is no set limit on the technique that you can use. It could be a movie shot with the mobile phone. It could be shot with a professional camera if you have such an equipment or a specialist in your school. It could be stop motion. It could be animated. It could be any kind of movie that tells a story, thinking about what is important to the closed project. So what are the topics that are important to the closed projects? Okay, so let's get into the breakdown of these lectures. And as I said, I envision 10 lectures. In the first one, the title of the lecture, I believe, could be Welcome to the Closed Project, where you introduce the project to the students. Like, they should already know by now what the project is about, because they should have already gone through analytical part, film seen up close. But now you are going to let them know what's the objective of phase 2, film made up close. And basically, this one is going to be the lecture in which the students are going to start researching their story. Okay. Then lecture number 2 is going to, and again, when I talk about this, of course, now I'm just giving you a snippet. I could not possibly make a full comprehensive workshop on every single one of these lectures, because it would take hours and hours on end. That's why for each of these parts, you would have to do 2 things. One, refer to the Kinokit that's being created and shared with you. 2, refer to the personal skills that the teachers at your school already possess. So lecture number 2, understanding the filmmaking process. Here you talk about how a movie gets made. What are the 3 main stages of filmmaking, as I was saying, pre-production, production, and post-production. Explain the process of making a movie in these 3 projects, and start creating the setup to go in and actually preparing for the movie here, lecture number 3. In lecture number 3, you will talk about pre-production in a practical way. And basically, you will divide the group of students that you have into tiny groups. And basically, each of these groups is going to be responsible for script writing, storyboarding, casting, location scouting, and production schedule. So probably like 2 students per each group, 2, 3, 4 students. So some of them are going to be responsible to basically take the story that came out from the first 2 lectures and put it into a script or a screenplay. Some of them are going to draw a storyboard, and they can draw the storyboard if they feel confident enough in drawing, or they can take pictures with a mobile of like static photos of the like camera framing that they are imaging for each shot, for each scene. And casting, basically you are going to choose which students are going to act and what role they're going to play. Location scouting, in most of the cases, is going to be either at your school or your town, or like a public park close to your town. But of course, if you want to go fancy and you have the capacity to go to like bigger, more important locations, you're totally free to do that. For example, if you decide to make a movie about a prison and for some reason you have access to a real or abandoned prison and you want to go there with the students, totally free to do that. But for most of us, it's going to be surroundings of the school, the town in which the school is set, something like that. and production schedule. So making making sure that you set yourself and your team a timeline, and that basically you have enough time between the classes, between the lectures, to accomplish these tasks. So for example, lecture 3 will happen. There are going to be, let's say, homework to do, and then lecture 4 will have to happen after this homework have been completed. Okay. When I say homework, again, I mean screenplay, storyboard, casting, blah, blah, blah. Then lecture 4, basically, this one is all about screenplay, all about writing the story. So what I'm envisioning for this lesson is to go through the draft of the screenplay that has been written by the screenplayers or the screenwriters, and basically all together brainstorm to see if that's the final version, or if it can be improved, and how it can be improved. Okay. So lecture number 5, here it's all about storyboarding and pre-visualizing. So again, you can use storyboarding or pre-visualization, which is a series of pictures, edited them together to have an idea, a first idea of the movie, to not go blindly and take a camera and start making a movie, like choosing the camera angles, choosing the framing and composition of each shot, choosing what kind of lighting you want, if it's nighttime, daytime, if it's daylight, or if it's artificial lighting, whatever. All of that, the more you choose in pre-production, the more you will have your ideas clear by the end. And in fact, you see that out of the 10 classes, 5 of these, if I recall correctly, are 5 or 6 of these are all on pre-production. We then get to lecture number 6, which is casting actors, selecting talent for the movie. Of course, the talent, again, can be made of the students that are working on the project, or it can be something external. I'm just giving you an example. If I'm making a movie that depicts the relationship, the deep and complex relationship between people from different generations, so for example, from elderly people and students, you can totally go in and basically scout one of the students' grandparents or one of the students' family friends to act in a certain role. So even here, there is no limit on who can act in these movies. It could be a professional actor, it could be a teacher, it could be a student, it could be someone from a student's family, it could be a friend of a teacher, anyone who you think is suitable, because basically what we are trying to do is teaching the soft skills, the emotional intelligence, or inspiring the emotional intelligence, the cooperation to the students, not through the final results, but through the journey of making these movies. Okay, so closed project basically tries to reach its objective in watching movies and making movies. It doesn't matter what kind of final product comes out. So this is something very important that I would like you to strongly pass on to the teachers that you are going to work with. I am probably guessing that each of the ambassadors that are taking part in this meeting are going to work with a number of teachers, and I want you all to pass along, because of the nature of the project, because it's not professional, nobody's going to become rich, there is no budget allowance for this project. So because it's so something that we are doing to give another tool, another possibility to our students, then basically what you should do is let them know that the final result, the quality of the final result is not our main focus. So even if a teacher or a group of students feel like they don't have the skills to make a movie, with any medium they have, with a mobile again, they should try, because it's in making the movie that lies the scope of the project, not in making a good movie. Okay. So we finally come to lecture number 7, which is the first one in which you guys are going to start actually shooting, talking about what kind of equipment you need, what kind of costume, if people needs to be dressed in a certain way. You are going to go on set and start shooting the movie. Depending on the length of your movie, if everything has been prepped correctly, this one is something that can last anywhere between 1 hour and 10 hours, okay? So plan this accordingly to the previous steps. So this could be one single lecture or a set of lectures. And the same can be said for all the previous ones. So just a moment, let's go back here. So lecture number 2 could be 1, 2, 3 classes. Lecture number 2, same thing, right? So again, I'm picturing 10 topics. If you only have very little time with the students, I would probably expect to at least have 2-3 hours per each topic, live as a synchronous lesson, and then some extra time as homework time between one and the other. But if you have the capacity, I would recommend for each of these lectures to at least have 2 or 3 classes. So 2 or 3 classes where we talk about how to make movies, 2 or 3 classes where we talk about what's the story that we want to create, 2 or 3 classes about creating the final screenplay that we love. So that is my recommendation. Let's go back to the breakdown of the lesson plan, let's say. Lecture number 8, you will have the editing all together, and now it's going to be time to, you are going to have the shootings, so the videos all together. Now it's going to be time to edit it. How? Any way that you guys know, with an app on the mobile, with computer and free softwares like DaVinci Resolve, with any software that your school already has. Even here, there is no limit. When the time comes for this, I will, if you guys are going to be in need, if you're going to request it, I will record some video tutorials with share screen and my voiceover on how to download a free software and use a free software to edit together multiple videos, so that if no one between the teachers and the students has any idea on how to make that without any app or something, I can show you with some video tutorials. Sorry guys, 1 second, I'm gonna be back in 30 seconds. Someone is knocking at the door. Sorry very much, guys. There were some work in progress, construction work in the building, so they wanted to give me an info. So we were talking about lecture number 8, editing. Again, if it's needed, I'm going to record video tutorials. I'm going to be so basically my school, as funnily enough, the school where I work at, it's called My School for the project, and it's also my school. So St. Thomas's International School, which is the real name, is going to be responsible for overseeing the whole phase of the CinemaLabs. We, as a school, we are going to organize some CinemaLabs in our school. So we are going to go through the same process as you guys, and we are going to be available for anything at any time for you. So you can write emails to your ambassadors and they're gonna share it with us, or you can write emails directly to us once we have a mailing list of all the people that are working on the project. So not only for video editing, but anything, if you have any doubts, we can be in touch. We can also organize other meetings outside of those that are already scheduled in the foreseeable future. Lecture number 9. Here, this lecture I've envisioned it's all going to be about audio and sound design, meaning if you choose to have some music, some dialogue, some sound effects, something related to sound in your movie, you are going to have one or more lectures dedicated to that only, which means that I can recommend you a few websites for free music, like free commercial music. If you have some students that can play music, you can compose and record your own music. So if you want to add some sound effects, you can basically have fun with the students creating sound effects. So for example, I don't know, let's say we want to have the sound of a dog barking, we can go and record that. We want to have the sound of a dragon roaring. Of course, we can't go and record a dragon, but you can record like a dog barking and a cat mowing, and put the sounds together in these editing softwares. So you can record someone working on some I don't know, some cardboard to give the idea that you're working on a wet surface. So basically, here is the time to have fun with the sound, with the audio. Okay. Lecture number 10 for most of your projects is not going to be needed, because this is about visual effects, color correction, so like final touches. In some cases, maybe you're just going to add some text or some credits, something like that. Of course, if you have students, let's say you're working at a high school and they want to create something like, I don't know, like a sparkle of magic in the movie, I created in the lesson plan time or space for that as well. But again, this is not something that is going to apply to all projects. Okay, I'm going to go through the very last couple of slides that we have here. We have actually the very last slide, which is number 8. And then we are going to start the discussion, questions and answers. Hopefully the Q&A session is going to be the most important one, because I guess that you guys are going to have some questions that I probably forgot to talk about. So this last slide is about the output requirements. So this is the only compulsory requirement, meaning that what's written here is the only thing that has to be this way. Everything else, again, how many hours you teach, what length is the movie that comes out, that's all up to you. Here, basically, we want the movie to come out at least to full HD resolution. Any mobile that has a photo camera nowadays records to at least full HD, in some cases even 4K. It needs to have a working video type like .mov, .av, .mp4 as a file format. It could be with or without audio. So the only thing is, if you decide to have a movie with some voices, being it either the actors acting with voice or being it a voiceover, please make sure to provide subtitles, at least in English, okay, so that we know how to, like, what we are going to do. As we say here, all the movies that are going to be created are going to be uploaded to the YouTube channel of the project, and they are going to be shown at the Laboratorio Immagine Donna, Cinema is Donna, correct me if I'm wrong, Silvia, festival that is going to be organized by our partners. Right, Silvia? That was the idea, right? Probably I can't hear you. Maybe it's very...
Yeah. I'm hearing you. I'm Silvia Lelli. Oh, the name was correct.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so basically these movies that you guys create are going to be on the YouTube page of the project, and also they're going to be shown at the festival that's going to take place in Florence, in Italy. So it's also going to be a nice occasion for the people who have worked on those projects to finally meet in person and to see everyone's movie. So yeah, this is pretty much it for the main information that I think are important to have before starting. Of course, now if you guys have any questions, you can raise your hand either like physically or virtually, and I can try to answer all of the questions that you might have. I'm gonna stop sharing the screen. All right. Questions can be of all kinds, technical, so like how can I do something, theoretical, about where to find files, so like any kind of questions you might have.
I joined to Yuri's contribution just to say that at the festival we were briefly, not really discussing, but just briefly mention the festival in our meeting, last meeting in France. And we think that we will not have a contest. We will not have a strong selection, but we would like to admit all the work that will arrive, that will be done. And we will not have the winner or first, second, third place, but we will have some mentions for all the films that will arrive. We don't have to be competitive, but inclusive. So this is something I wanted to add to your presentation.
Yeah, I think it's very important, and I think that we can definitely, like when you have the Oscar ceremony, we can have best actor, best screenplay, best lighting, best story, and like in the end have one prize for each project, highlighting what has been done well with each project. And also we can offer, this is something that we're going to discuss with Laboratorio Immagine Donna, we could offer professional feedback on the movies that have been created, so that people know what they have done well and what they can improve on. So like maybe people who are directors or like me who work in the filmmaking industry, they can offer their own professional feedback. So we're going to try to make it a learning experience and not a competitive one.
Yes, wonderful. We agree with this. Yeah, perfect. I also can maybe add that we don't have ambassadors from Florence today because no one was available at this time. But I will report to them on what you're saying, and I will check a little bit more the guidelines you presented now, but I think they are perfect.
Yeah, no worries. I'm going to share the guidelines, and also I'm going to share the recording of the meeting, so okay, you don't have to remember everything by heart.
Thank you. Perfect. Okay.
Any other questions, guys? How many of the people who are here are going to directly be involved in the CinemaLabs with the students? Can you guys raise your hands? I was just asking this to understand if I'm talking to the ambassadors and then you are going to talk to the teachers, or if there are any of the actual teachers.
So for us, for Local Factory, our ambassador is Paolo. It's the musicone, and we have other ambassadors, other two ambassadors for sure. They will start the CinemaLabs in September. but they weren't able to attend this meeting. And also Paolo was taking contacts with the other teacher in his school.
Okay, perfect. So we can definitely keep this recording in our archives, because I know that most of the teachers are going to start the CinemaLabs in September. So now we are starting to tell the teachers they need to basically get an idea of how to organize them. But then September is going to be basically when the school starts back, the moment in which these are going to actually start. So we keep this in the archives along with the guidelines and the keynote kits and everything, and basically we share with the people that are coming in September. So there is one person with a raised hand who probably has a question. It's an unnamed person. I only see as user, so not sure who that is. Silvia, are you trying to say something?
No, actually, no.
Okay.
I was trying to answer your question, but I was waiting for everyone to speak.
Okay. Saskia has got a question, I guess.
Yes, no, I was actually just also having the same thoughts. You were saying that you will be in the next weeks or months, you will have an update. And I think before September, nobody, or I don't know, at least the schools, they are not now starting with a lab. That will start, I think, in September. And yes, in our school we have drama. I don't know if maybe that could be an option, that we could have partially working with a CinemaLab right in the drama lessons. That is a curricular lesson. And I could imagine also that there could be an after school possibility, but we still have to find who could be the teachers to work with that, yes, in person. Huh?
Okay. Yeah, no worries. I guess it's the same situation for most of the schools. It's not expected to start before the new school year, just because we are at the middle of May, and most of the schools are going to have exams and stuff like that in June, and then summer vacations. So basically, the meetings, generally the update meetings are going to be every couple of months. But of course, now we have this first meeting in May. The ambassadors and the teachers, they start working on their own schedule and lesson plan. So basically what I would recommend is for the teachers to, they don't have to actually start making the labs, but get an idea, where can we get the hours that we need? Who are the teachers that are going to work? How many hours can we dedicate to this project? And basically come up with a plan to fit this European project in the timetable of the school. And the next one is, of course, not going to be in 2 months from now, because it's going that would be July, and nobody is going to be available in July. Thank you, Paolo. I see that you need to leave. You are with Attilio. Hello, Attilio. And we'll talk to you later. Bye, Paolo.
Ciao Paolo, grazie.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, Paolo.
So what I was saying is we're not going to have another meeting in July, but the first meeting that we are going to have after this one is going to be in September. Right, Silvia?
Yes,
Ciao a
exactly.
tutti, scusate,
It's correct.
devo proprio scappare. Hi guys.
Ciao, Paolo.
Ciao, Paolo. Ciao, Press. Yes, it's correct, Yuri. It's in September because it will be connected to the starting of the new school year. So hopefully all the schools would be ready, knowing the number of students and the number of teachers involved, so we can sit down and understand if there is someone who who needs to improve their numbers, and if we have to connect with other schools, if the number of schools is enough, and all the numbers that we need to achieve by the end of the VP3. So this is the reason why we decided to arrange the next meeting in September, so we can have enough time to start with the right foot.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Any other questions?
You have to remember, sorry, I forgot to say something. We have to remember that the numbers are for the project. So if we understand that there are some schools that have problems with numbers, then some other countries can support, and because the numbers are for the whole project. So according to what we decided in France, and everyone proposed the number of students and teachers that they would hopefully put on the project. I think that in September we can understand who needs some help and who is easygoing, and try to move on, helping one another.
Yeah, as I was showing in the beginning of the meeting, we were expecting for each country partner a certain number of schools. We are expecting between 9 and 16 schools in total. And then out of every single school, you can have different groups participating in the project. So you can have one single group, meaning one class of like 15 students, or you can have 2 classes, 3 classes, 4 classes. And from every single group, you can have 2 movies, 2 projects coming out. So in the end, we are expecting to have a few dozen movies.
Yes, exactly. That's correct. So we'll see what's the achievement by the end of the year, maybe, and we see how the schools have started working on the project, and then we can see how we can help improving, maybe if it's needed, or also Snezana, I remember that she spoke about making a contest. That is something that they have already been working on, but this is something that we can share with the other countries and see if there are some schools that are not willing to participate or are struggling with the organization, and see how the practice in the other countries can help them achieve their goals.
Perfect. Thank you, Silvia. So if there are any other questions, guys, please let us know right away. Otherwise, we are going to wave each other goodbye and be ready for our next meeting, which is probably again going to be at the beginning of September, or like the beginning of the school years. Of course, when I say our next meeting, I mean the next big official meeting with the partners and all of the ambassadors, but the single schools, single ambassadors, single partners can have meetings together. Meaning, for example, I'm from Italy, I work with Saskia, me and Saskia, we can talk and meet prior to September, and the same goes for everyone else, of course. Like Snezana with Steph Cho and so on and so forth.
In any case, please consider that Yuri told you before, our email is always available. You can email either me or Yuri at any time, and we can help you if there is some doubt, any clarification you need, any material that is missing. We can share it in the shared folder. So please do not hesitate to email us if you need any kind of support.
Exactly. So right now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna share the CinemaLabs guidelines document with the partners, and then the partners are going to share that with the ambassadors. as soon as it's ready, it's going to need some time to record. I'm going to to encode. I'm going to share the recording of this meeting as well. And then that's gonna be shared with you all. I see there is one raised hand again from
It's
oh
Silvia.
yeah, Silvia.
Gialelli. Hi, Laboratorio. Yes, I want to tell that some of our classes, from Florence classes, have already started some CinemaLab, but I think it's not a problem. Anyway.
It's definitely not a problem. I think in the last meeting, you told us it's definitely not a problem. Of course, those classes that have started, like from what we have seen when we came to Florence, already have some specialists in the filmmaking industry. So either you or some teachers that already have projects like this. So they are less in need of guidance. So the only reason why we are starting in September is because we are imagining that most of the school would have to create, let's say, a group of teachers that kind of feel they're more skilled for this task and they would need to be guided by us. But if some schools already have some cinema labs going on and they already have the skills that are needed, as long as they go through the Kino kit and they tell stories that are close to the closest projects pillars, let's say, then it's all good.
Yeah. Anyway, we send that also to them the guidelines so they can adjust some part of the process at least. Thank you.
All right, so if there is no other question, then I will virtually hug you all from afar. And if we can, or if we won't hear from each other with some of you before September, then I wish you guys to have the most amazing summer. Hopefully without any other bad surprises from around the world, talking about epidemics, wars, economical crisis, or all of those things that are not fun.
Thank you, Yuri. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao a tutti. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.